So let's go through the process of creating a site-wide context. I'm going to go to Structure and Context, and I'm going to open this up in a new tab. That way we can toggle between these two tabs and see exactly which blocks should belong where. In Context, I'm going to hit Add. I'm going to type site-wide for the name, and for the description, we'll put site-wide as well. Under Conditions, under Add a Condition, we're going to choose Site-wide Context and select Always Active. So again, if we wanted to make exceptions for, say, a single page where we don't want these blocks to display, we can add another condition and then check this Require All Conditions. And in that second condition, we would say that it would have to be on a certain path or not on a certain path. And in that second condition, we could specify the path that we don't want this to be triggered on. Okay, now for the reactions. I'm going to select Blocks here. And if we jump back over to the Blocks page, under Help, we have System Help. Let's go ahead and add that there. So I'll scroll down, and let's scroll down to System, and then we have System Help, and we're going to add that to the Help region. I'll go back to Blocks. We have Main Page Content in the Content region, so I'm going to go back to Context, and I'm going to scroll down to System again, where we have Main Page Content, and click Add next to Content. Okay, I'll go back to Blocks, and now we have Search Form, Navigation, and User Login in the sidebar first. So let's go back to the context, and let's add Search Form, Navigation, and User Login, and click Add next to sidebar first. And let's go back to Blocks, and scroll down, and everything else is disabled. So we should be able to save this now. I'm going to scroll down and click Save in the context. And let's go back to a content page. I'll click on Content, and I'll click on our review page. Okay, so we have all of our blocks displaying now. Our user login block is hidden because we're already logged in. And so now let's disable these one by one in the blocks area just to make sure that our context is coming into play. I'm going to click Blocks, and let's select the search form and disable that. I'm going to select None, and I'll scroll down to the bottom and click Save Blocks. And I'll jump back over to the review page and click Refresh. And our search block still shows. Okay, good sign. Let's try that again with the navigation block. I'm going to go back to the blocks and remove navigation from sidebar first, and scroll down and click Save Blocks. And I'll click Review of Airspeed Velocity again, and our navigation still displays. Okay, let's try with our content here. I'm going to go back to Blocks and scroll down and disable Main Page Content. And I'll scroll down to the bottom and click Save Blocks, and go back to the review page and refresh. And our content still displays. Okay, so this looks good. By now you should feel confident that your context works good. If we go back to the blocks, you'll see that we did forget one, which is the Powered by Drupal block in the footer. And so we should see that disappear if we disable it. So we'll select None for that. And then we'll go up to User Login and select None for that. For System Help, we'll also select None. And everything looks clear. Let's scroll down to the bottom and click Save Blocks. Okay, so we ran into an error which said Region for Main Page Content Block field is required. So we need to actually select an option here. We should have known that by seeing the Select option here instead of None. So let's put that in the content area again. Let's make sure that all of our other blocks are disabled. And scroll down and click Save Blocks. Okay. Now if we scroll down, we'll only see the main page content here. Everything else is disabled. And if we go back to our review page and refresh, you'll see our main content displays here. So you can see that just because we have this enabled in our context doesn't mean it will display twice if it's also enabled in the block settings page. So again, this is what we do if we're going to commit to context entirely. We can of course use it for just certain contexts, so to speak, or we can just try to use the default block settings available to us through Drupal core. But when we go to Structure and go to Blocks, and we see that nothing is enabled except for our content block, then it becomes clear to other people who are working on this site or exploring it that we're using something other than this blocks configuration page for our blocks. And context is the next common tool to use for it. So being consistent this way gives other site builders and administrators an insight into how things are being used on your site. If we were using a little bit of context and a little bit of the default blocks configuration page, it would be a little hard to tell for somebody else exactly in which context they should be using context.